Hey guys, this is Karthik Kantwal from Apex Finserv, and I'm back with your daily dose of charts for the equity segment as well as the index outlook for tomorrow's trading session. Now today was a more or less range bound of an expiry. If you look at the index Nifty in particular, the trading range in all its entirety was not as much. So it was not that much of an exciting expiry for most of the traders as far as I'm aware of. But I hope you guys were on the green side of things. Now tomorrow is the last trading day of the week, so let's see what do we have in store for tomorrow. So starting with the first one on the equity side, we have Piramal Enterprises. Now this is where we are going to go for a long trade. This is a very simple trade analogy. We have a established support at 1350. Plus, if you look at the recent candle structure, it has had a strong, steep upward sloping trend line from the downside. If you are able to plot it, it's consistent higher highs and higher low structure formation. So we are going to go for a long position at 1350, which also happens to be at a previous support as well as a previous swing low, with stop loss going at 1335 and ideal targets 1% on the upside. Moving on to the next one, IndusInd Bank. IndusInd Bank, again we are going to go for a long position because we have a support level at 608610 or 68610, with also again here as well an upward sloping trend line, but this seems to be more of a sustainable trend line because it is not as steeply raked as the one that we had on PL, also in alignment with the higher lows. So we are going to go for a long at 608, stop loss at 600, ideal targets 1% on the upside. Moving on to the next one, MFSL. MFSL, this is a trade that we have had multiple times in the past, long at 600 because, well, it was a support, then it turned into a resistance, and now it should act as support again. The price tried to fill that gap, but it could not. So this time we are going to go for a long position in case it does fill a gap, because then the bullish momentum should continue. So we are going for a long position at 600, stop loss at 593, ideal targets 1% on the upside. Moving on to the next one, Autopharma. Autopharma, we're going to go for a simple short trade. In this one, we have a resistance, or in short, we had a supply zone which later turned into a demand zone at 825. So it is now again going to act as a resistance or a supply zone. So we are going to go for a short position at 825, stop loss at 835, ideal targets 1% on the downside. Moving on to the next one, Bharat Forge. Bharat Forge 2, just like Escorts, we are going to go for a short position at the nearest supply zone. Now we could have gone for a long position at the swing point 2 at 485, but we don't really have a lot of previous interaction at that price point. I mean, we do have interaction, but it's not really that convincing. We don't have role reversal or anything as such. Whereas at 490 we do have a lot of such price action visible. So we are going to go for a short position at 490, stop loss 497, ideal targets 1% on the downside. Moving on to the next one, Lupin. Lupin, we are going to go for a simple long trade at the nearest swing point 1020 or 1020. Stop loss at 1008 and ideal targets 1% on the upside. You have a clear higher low formation on Lupin. Very nice trade. Now coming to the next one that we have on the list, SR Transfin. Now SR Transfin, we are going to go for a long position here because we have a strong established support level, as you can see on the chart. This is an hourly time frame. So we have had multiple bounces from that very price level from around 635 to 637. So that has established itself as a really strong demand zone, and that is exactly where we are planning a position tomorrow. It also happens to be the closest strong swing point that we have. So multiple confirmations for that very price level. So we are going to go for a long position at 637, stop loss at 630, and ideal targets 1% on the upside. Now moving on to the final one that we have is Escorts. Now Escorts 2, if you remember, we have traded this breakout of this range, and we have been taking multiple positions on Escort since this week's trading sessions, and we have had, I guess, 3 or 4 positions. One or two were not triggered, but the rest were, and they gave targets. So on Escorts for tomorrow, what we have is a simple long trade at the nearest swing point, where we have also observed a good role reversal, resistance turn support, and also established itself as a demand zone apparently. So we are going to go for a long position at 1218, stop loss at 1200, ideal targets 1% on the upside. Now coming on to the indices for tomorrow's trading session, since it's a fresh expiry, I am not really expecting that much of an exciting move on the indexes, particularly Nifty, because as you can see, if you observe the entire trading range for today, right from the opening candles OHLC values to the last candles. So the difference between the opening and closing price is fairly minimal, almost I guess it is 11,540 to 11,519, which is which is almost 20-25 points. So we didn't have really a exciting move, and aggressive traders, they could have traded really nicely between this ping pong range, but apart from that we didn't really have a lot of action going on in the morning. I did believe that this was going to break that range, fill that gap, and move on to 11,600, 650. But sadly, that did not happen, and it could not break out of that range. Now, what I expect for tomorrow is, if you look at the candle structure, well, it has made a lower high. It has not made a lower low yet, so we don't have complete bearish confirmation, but it has made a lower high. So there is a weakness in the bulls, ability to take it higher up to 11,650, 11,700. But on the other side, we also have a gap that remains to be filled completely between 11,590 to 11,600, almost roughly 10-15 points of gap. It's not really that much, but a gap is still a gap, and it has to be filled. So it is going to be interesting when and how that gap is going to be filled. Now for tomorrow, this zone is going to be the key. The price level that we have of 11,500, that is going to be the key price action observation, or the exact key strike price where price action needs to be observed, because if that is being broken, we can expect a smooth downside 75 points सीधा नीचे to 11,425, 400. If that is being sustained, again smooth 50-60 points up move to 11,575, 11,600 to fill the gap. So how Nifty reacts to that zone is going to tell us where it's going to go for the entire trading session tomorrow. Coming to the option chain, we have immediate resistance at 11,600, up just above the gap, or just at the gap, where it's going to be filled with 857,000 added contracts. And the significant resistance 11,700, pretty far away, with 769,000 added contracts. On the support side, we have 11,500 with just 265,000 added contracts, and significant at 11,400 with 365,000 added contracts. So the put writers have not really entered into their positions as aggressively right now, but I cannot blame them, because fresh expiry, so most of them have not really initiated new positions. That is what I think as of now. Even the PCR value for Nifty, it is coming out as 1.11 or 1.11, which is very aggressively bearish, but this is the PCR of volume. Again, fresh expiry, so maybe the option buyers have carried on the exact bias that they had today's, which was bearish. So can't really give that much importance to option chain. But for tomorrow, I would personally advise you guys to observe the price action near 11,500. That is going to be the key to deciphering Nifty's movement for tomorrow in the live markets. Coming to my favorite index, the the wildly volatile Bank Nifty. Now Bank Nifty 2, if you look at today's trading range, I told you guys yesterday 22,500 was going to be the key point, and I did have a long 2 at 22,450 on the futures, but I had to exit it at cost in the later half of the day, because, well, I did get an exit at cost. I was lucky there, because the bullish momentum was not really being carried in any manner. Now at the current market price, we do have another zone at 22,300. Now I have not kept in place the Fibonacci that we had, because that is almost a month old now, and I think that is a bit irrelevant, and that would be not really helpful if I were to consider that even today while entering my positions. So what I have now is just my good old demand supply zones, and I have zones, as per the zones I have a range of 100 points, 22,300, 22,400. Above that, I have a strong 100 point move to the next zone, 22,500. Under that, I have a strong, again, about 150 points move till the next zone. So this is going to be the key. Just like on Nifty, the zone that we had was at 11,500. On Bank Nifty, we have that at 22,300. Depending on where or which direction these two zones are broken in, we can take a trade. Or if you are aggressive traders, you can go for ping pong trades too on futures, not on options. Now, as per the option chain, we have immediate resistance at 22,500, coincides with a zone with 281,000 added contracts. Significant at 23,000, pretty far away, with 185,000 added contracts. On the support side, you have immediate support at 22,200 with 75,000 added contracts, that's all. And significant support at 22,000 with 113,000 added contracts. So as per the option chain, again, just like on Nifty, what we had observed was the put writers have not entered their positions as of now, whereas the call writers, they seem to be, at least I would say 60-70% of them are in position. Now, when I talk about the PCR for Bank Nifty, PCR of volume, that comes out to be at 0.77, which is neutral. So Bank Nifty pay, even the option buyers, they are not certain which direction Bank Nifty is going to go in. So tomorrow I would suggest to wait for a break of this 100-point range, and depending on the direction of break and the price action confirmation based on the candle body structure, you can go for range break trades. That would be a nice idea. You would get I guess decent RR on those trades too. Now these are all the charts that I had to discuss with you guys for tomorrow's trading session. I'll be seeing you guys back on the weekends with the second series of the Wyckoff structure analysis, which is a very very good concept and a very strong concept if you consider yourself to be a price action trader. So if you are waiting for that second series or second video of the series, well and good. If you have not seen the first series, I'll be attaching the link in the description of this video, so you can check that out. As usual, if you want any of the charts and option chain analysis, watch list trades, any of it, you can check out the Telegram channel at the rate Apex Finserv, where we can also check us out on Instagram and Twitter. Do we post everything everywhere? Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel, comment something nice. And well, I hope you guys end the week on a good strong green note tomorrow. I hope you have a really nice trading session and a good weekend. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a good night. Bye.